In May last year, I took my Sinclair C5 along to Ipswich for the 50th Historic Vehicle Run. Classic cars, motorcycles, bikes and other vehicles over 31 years old can take part. This time 12 C5s assembled in the park for the run to Felixstowe, a distance of around 11 miles. And as we set off, the big question was, would everyone make the distance? The route out of the park was on a hill. The C5 motor struggled and we had to reach for the pedals. And an event steward lent a helping hand by pushing one of the C5s up the hill. As we left the park, the going got easier on the more level ground. But already Douglas looked to be having difficulties. Mark got him going again and we were on our way. The start of the route benefited from a downward slope. Thereafter it was reasonably flat and most people chose to do some pedalling, as well as using the motor to help preserve the battery. My rear wheel was squeaking, an intermittent problem I've experienced since I bought the C5. I've tried many things including a new wheel, but the problem keeps coming back. One of the other participants was heard to complain, "Bloody hell, do I have to listen to that all the way to Felixstowe?" Well, I'm afraid so. But I'm pleased to report that the issue has since been fixed. I've replaced the rear drum brake with a modern disc brake. Not only has this eliminated the squeak, but the C5 actually has reasonable braking performance, something of a weakness in its stock configuration.
Alrighty.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Where have you come from?
I'm coming from Belgium.
You've come a long way in a C5.
Yes, on the C5, on my back.
Morning. There's a wave.
We had a couple of pit stops with a support vehicle with extra batteries and bottles of water on hand. And then it was on to Felixstowe for the final few miles. Now, if you thought undertaking the journey on a 37-year-old Sinclair C5 was challenging, spare a thought for the two penny farthing riders who rightly got a clap and a cheer from onlookers. At Felixstowe, the C5s lined up in formation, and the classic cars on the nearby seafront. And whilst the vehicles were inspected by visitors, I had a chat with a few of the Sinclair C5 riders from our group.
Okay, good afternoon. Can you tell us what your name is and where you come from?
Hello, my name's Douglas Tatum. I come from Debenham in Suffolk.
And how long have you owned a C5?
I haven't owned a C5. My wife owns a C5 because she used to work for Clive Sinclair, and it was one of the great joys of working for him was that all employees were given a C5, so they could then go off to the pub for a quick lunch and then return. A very good form of advertising.
So she's owned it since 1985?
It is. It's an original.
Great, great. And how have you found the Felixstowe Run today? Any problems along the way?
Yes, I forgot to switch the wretched battery on, so I was pedalling and not getting anywhere very quickly. But Mark, who has joined us from Belgium, he's got a very powerful machine and he pushed me along, and suddenly I realised that you have to switch these things on. So anyway, we got here, great camaraderie, tremendous fun, a lot of welcome from the people standing by the side of the roads and sitting on chairs. It's a great event and people should be encouraged to come here.
So you'll be back again next year?
Possibly.
Brilliant. Thank you very
Possibly.
much.
My pleasure. Yeah, thank you very much, Dave. Thank you.
My name's Sam Rowell and I'm from Felixstowe.
And is this your first time participating in this road race?
Oh, this is the 4th one that we've done, and the first one I didn't actually make it, so we got about halfway and then managed to cook the motor. So yeah, thrilled to have made it for the 3rd year in a row.
Okay, and you've been rallying the troops today. How many C5s have we had in the group?
Yeah, so we've had 12 Sinclair C5s here today. We had 12 at the beginning, and I think more amazingly, we had 12 at the end as well.
Okay, normally you lose a few along the way, do you?
I think some people have been known to maybe be a little bit late.
And have we had any problems today?
I think we've had maybe 1 or 2 electrical issues, and we had a chain that came off right at the end, but fortunately it was all downhill, so we just had to hold on and just ride it out.
Now you're a bit of a Sinclair C5 aficionado. How many of these fine machines are yours?
Yeah, sure. So we've got 12 C5s here today, 6 of which I brought along, and in total it's difficult to keep count, but I think there's about 15. So they're in various states of repair and disrepair, but we're working on getting all of them going again, very much for the repair and restoration of C5s, and making sure that everyone gets as much enjoyment as possible out of the hobby.
And what first got you interested in the Sinclair C5?
It must actually have been about 6 years today, where Ipswich Transport Museum had their Sinclair C5, asked if I could have a go. They said yes, jumped in, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So this was the first Sinclair C5 that I bought following that, and this one actually came all the way from the Netherlands.
To get here.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much, and thank you very much for organising it.
That's all right.
I've had a really good day myself, so cheers, Sam.
Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
All the best.
They're not cars.
Hello, what's your name and where are you from?
Hello, I'm Mark, I'm from Belgium.
So you've come a long way.
I did come a long way on the boat.
And have you come specially for today's Ipswich to Felixstowe Run, or have you had other things to do?
No, I wanted to make a trip to England, and I'm using my C5 to move myself from one point to another point so I can go and look some nice spots in the UK.
And how have you found the Felixstowe Run today? How have you found
I saw it 4 years ago and I thought by myself that's a nice thing to join in at the time. So I did it 3 years ago, just before the corona, and then it stopped 2 years and now it's back on, so I'm back in.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about your C5. You've got some modern adjustments, I believe.
Yes.
Can you show us a few of the things on your machine?
Yes, so this is my C5. I have a power switch over here. I put my power on.
No, you're right.
And I have a modern controller in this box. And then I put my power on. I have an LCD that says me how much miles I'm doing. The trip mile. I have so much volt, 785 volt almost. Normally it's 63 volt. There's a battery of 65 volt. And that's the time it's on. And these are, if there's some mistakes inside, he tells me that's wrong or that's wrong. That's it. I have 3 gears on it. This is gear 1, gear 2 and gear 3.
Okay, so you've got gears, okay.
Yeah, this is my battery. It's a 60 volt lithium battery. It's 35 amps an hour. I can do a trip of 70, 80 kilometers with it before it's empty. Then my motor is on the front of my C5. This is my motor. It's a 60 volt, 250 watt motor.
Okay, so hub motor.
It's a hub motor, yes, with a disc brake because you need a disc brake.
Yeah.
I have put some batteries, some lights in it, sorry.
Yeah, you've got the LEDs, very nice.
And I have here a far light, but I did not connect it yet. I don't have the time for it now at this moment. That's the front. At the back there is nothing that much more. I can pull a second Sinclair with it. I can hook it up in the front wheel and I can pull it. I can hold it in there and pull it. I have a small horn. You can horn with somebody, that's it.
So if somebody else breaks down, you can give them a tow?
Yes, I can give them a tow.
Have you ever had to do that?
Oh, I think 4 or 5 times I already, yeah.
So it's like the AA. We have
Yeah.
a breakdown service here called AA.
Yes, okay, that's what we do then.
Great. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All the best.
Yeah, see you, bye.
So a shout out to all the C5 enthusiasts on the Sinclair C5 Owners Forum, particularly Sam, who rallied the troops for the run, and thanks to the event organisers at the Ipswich Transport Museum. And as I write this, there's only a few days now to go until the 2023 event. So far we've got 17 C5s entered. I've got a new lithium battery which I'm hoping will help, and no squeaky wheel this year, I promise. So that's it for this video. Bye for now.